My name is Dan Weese. I am a senior manager at Ernst & Young, also known as EY. At my previous employer, Ingram Content Group, my manager, David Sheely, had hired some Nashville Software School graduates to come in and work in some of the development teams that we had there, and that was my first exposure to NSS, and all of those developers were doing quite well, and so that was my first exposure to NSS. So I hired 4 NSS graduates because I had an extremely high-profile, short deadline project, and I needed some people that were going to come in, hit the ground running, and go straight into the deep end. And I knew that was kind of how Nashville Software School works with, becoming a student here. The thing I like about hiring NSS graduates is they come from a very diverse background. A lot of them are from completely different industries, not your typical computer science track. They're coming from all different areas, and they each bring some skill from their former profession into the software development world. EY had no experience with hiring any what they call campus hires, college graduates, except for traditional computer science programs. So I educated them on what Nashville Software School was about and convinced them that they needed to give some of those students a try. They had to change their process. They're used to working on a traditional college school schedule, and NSS doesn't conform to that, so they had to change their recruitment process to handle that, but they adapted quickly, and we were able to bring on 7 NSS graduates to EY. I want to make sure that they're getting a strong foot in the door with wherever they're looking to apply, so helping them with their resume, helping them with their interview skills, and then talking to them about the importance of networking and getting out into the meetups and actually talking to other people in the industry. I think it helps just kind of pay it forward and make sure that they're getting the best start they can when they graduate. What I've seen in the community is when you go to a lot of the meetups, there's a very strong representation of Nashville Software School. The students and graduates are very active in the local meetups, and I spoke at a hiring panel for the .NET user group in January, and I would say half the room was Nashville Software School, either active students or graduates. So I think that seeing that community involvement and that the students are really invested in making sure that their career is headed in the right direction, I think that's just amazing, and I think that if employers that are coming to town, that are looking to hire new talent, go to the meetups, you will see a very strong representation from Nashville Software School. I would say give them a chance. You won't be disappointed. Every single person I've hired from Nashville Software School has worked out.